Formula 1 season kicks off with a bang. Lel. How's it going, guys? My name is Ben, and today I'm bringing you the second episode of the F1 2015 modded career mode. This is the Malaysian Grand Prix, and for this season we are driving the Redbull Racing Renault, and it should be a pretty damn tough season. As you guys know, equal cars, lots of mods on this career mode championship, so it's going to be pretty damn tough. As you can see in the background, my engineer for some reason was giving me a tutorial on how to do race strategies, so I don't know, that was a bit weird, but either way, here we are in Malaysia. We qualified last simply because in qualifying we had a wet affected session. So yeah, as you guys know, on this game it is extremely hard to compete with the AI, especially when it rains, and you know, we just fell victim to that. But hopefully in the dry we should be a lot more racing, hopefully be able to challenge the front runners. So here we go, ready for the start of this race. So here we are for the return of F1 2015 modded career mode. You guys have been wanting to see this, and finally we're ready for the start of the Malaysian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go here in Malaysia, and we can't really see how much of a shit start we got off to, but we'll see in a minute. Here we go, yeah, there we go. Crap start as always, but luckily for us though, we'll be able to pick our lines through turn 1 and try and get around the carnage that ensues through the opening sequence of corners. But we've managed to move up into P13. Unbelievable start so far, just going around the outside of everyone through the first few corners, and up ahead we can see Will Stevens. If you're new to this championship, just be aware that every single car is of the performance of the Mercedes, so they're all going to be so damn quick and so damn hard to beat. So if we don't finish last, and that's simply just an achievement in this championship. But anyway, we can see Lewis Hamilton right in front of us in P12 as we head through the middle sector for the first time in this race. We'll try and make some inroads on Hamilton if we can. Probably not going to be a championship contender this year, possibly, now that the field is so equal. But anyway, we'll try and get back past him for, I guess, bragging rights. But trying to go around the outside now into the hairpin. Hamilton sort of balked there by the Marussia, or the Mana Marussia, that was stuck on the apex there, going very slowly. But I think we're up to P12 or P13 at the moment. I'm not too sure as of yet, because we don't have any HUD up at the moment, but we'll see in a few moments. If you guys don't know, we're running with a few mods in this championship, some of which are pretty obvious, others probably not so much. One of them, exclusive for this season, is more excessive or realistic fuel consumption. So pretty much we're starting off with less fuel on board the car, so about -3 or -4 laps for a 50% race. If it's a 100% race, it's around -5 laps down, or maybe even 6 laps down in terms of fuel. So conserving fuel now is more of an issue, and it can really affect the races, and hopefully it can add to the spectacle a little bit. But speaking of racing, we can see the Mana Marussia getting past the Williams. Is that Bottas or is it Massa? I'm not too sure. He loses another position to Hamilton there, so the Williams there obviously struggling for pace at this early phase of the Grand Prix. Lap 2 now, we can see Hamilton is trying to go on the attack coming into the final corner. Just up the road we can see another Mana Marussia battling quite heavily with, I think it was another Red Bull. Was it Daniel Ricciardo? I'm not too sure. No, I'm driving as Daniel Ricciardo. I've taken his spot. Or have I? No, I've taken over Kvyat's spot. What am I talking about? Anyway, going into turn 1, we've overtaken almost both the Marussias, have we? Raikkonen going slowly on the inside. But yeah, wheel-to-wheel stuff with Mary there. And he just gets out in front of us thanks to a decent amount of traction there. But we're using the slipstream to good effect. Pull to the inside now. We'll have surely the best opportunity to overtake him up the inside into turn 4. We leave him room on the outside, and despite having so much room, he still gets a terrible exit there. But anyway, lap 4 now. I think we're thinking about a stop in the next 4 or 5 laps. The tyre wear at Malaysia is generally pretty terrible, and I think we might see a bit of that later on in the race. But either way, we can see Hamilton is going on the attack now on the outside. Is he on the main straight using DRS? And he's going to take P10 from us, so P9 from us rather. So yeah, interesting scenes here. As we can see, we're sort of falling away from the lead pack at the moment. we can see someone is leading by about 4 or 5 seconds, and then the top 6 or 7 are really leading out by a long way. And then it's just sort of the midfield with us all sort of battling with each other and holding each other up. So very interesting scenes here as now we pit on lap 5 for an early pit stop, hopefully trying to get some ground back in the next stint. So the pit stop is 3.7 seconds there. Once again, another decent stop there. In terms of the race strategy, I came in so early because the option tyres really weren't working. I had to switch on to a set of primes simply because I was just losing so much time to the cars around me, and I had to do something different. So fingers crossed, heading into this next stint, we can maybe even gain a few positions. Team radio.
It looks like Daniel has a brake issue. He keeps locking his brakes. Daniel's struggling with his brakes at the moment. It looks like he might have a problem.
Okay, so Daniel Ricciardo, our teammate, has a brake drama which is holding him back significantly. We can see here on lap 8, Max Verstappen, I don't know, it seems like to me he's going very slowly as well. He might possibly have a brake drama as well, so one Red Bull and one Toro Rosso having brake problems in the Malaysian Grand Prix. It seems like the heat is really getting to these cars, and it might possibly affect my car as well, but we'll see as the race progresses. Hopefully that sort of reliability can't affect us. As you can see, Max Verstappen just braking so early for turn 4. He broke like literally 100 meters early, so he's definitely got a brake drama, and so that means we need to be very careful on our brakes too, otherwise we could see ours let go and possibly end our race. But anyway, lap 9, we can see a few cars coming out of the pits now, and Hamilton has jumped us. Even though we had the undercut, we got held up a little bit in the pits, and, well, no, held up by having to race Max Verstappen, but Hamilton very quick on his in laps, and he's got track position once again. So, lap 11, we can now see Felipe Nasr with his straight line speed in the Sauber is looking very threatening here on lap 11, cutting to 12, and once again he's having another go coming into turn 1. We're trying to manage our fuel as well, and it's proving to be very tough to try and balance holding track position and saving fuel at the same time. We just have to run fast on the straights, otherwise we're going to lose his track position to Nasr, and we're in 10th place at the moment, so if you lose one position, then we're out of the points paying positions, and it's not looking good at this phase of the race with older tyres, not much fuel on the car, and we've also dropped out of the points now, so looking very dire now in this race. Malaysia traditionally isn't one of my strongest tracks, it's actually one of my worst tracks, so to see that we're struggling this much is very, very interesting. It's something you'd not see in a career mode of mine, but either way, we get back past Nasr into turn 1 and back up into P10. Essentially, we just need to park the bus and try and finish in 10th place. That's just how far this race has gone out the window at the moment. Bottas is now up into P11, and he's going to try and challenge us coming into this final corner. Look at the debris on my tyres at the moment. They're absolutely wrecked at the moment. I don't know if it's additional marble build-up that's really attacking my tyres and really degrading them, but either way, we're really doing it worse for wear here today. Lap 15 now, you can see we're minus 1 lap down on fuel. We've got DRS on Bottas. Are we going to go back up the inside? He leaves us room on the inside, and we take that position back. So back up into P10. This is where we need to be. I've never finished outside the points in a career mode on F1 2014. This could potentially be the first race that this happens, and it could be because of that mistake right there coming into the penultimate corner. Bottas has got up the inside and into P10. I think we're thinking about coming into the pits very soon. We've done 11 laps on our set of primes already. We can see Ericsson trying to hold around the outside there as Bottas going so slowly on the exit of the final corner. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is further compounding our race here. It almost eliminates any chance of us trying to catch the top 10, really. So very, very disappointing at the moment. But we go back up the inside of Bottas. This is a fantastic battle so far. Just so much battling going on in this race, despite being so far down in the order. I'm actually really enjoying this, to be honest. But either way, we still have P10. This is all we need, lads. I can't believe I'm getting this excited over 1 point. This is unbelievable. But anyway, end of lap 17, we can see Marcus Ericsson trying to go around the outside now into the final corner. I believe I'll be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Yes, I will be going a little bit deeper for the final corner and into the pit lane we'll go on to a set of prime tyres now for the rest of the race. So, just having to catch my breath there. It's been a very exciting middle stint here now. We'll be going on to a set of primes, which will only be a 10-lap run to the end. The set of primes that we just used, we did 13 laps on those tyres. So, yeah, we sort of got our race back on track a little bit. We should have much better tyres for the rest of the race, so we can go on the attack, and that's what I'll be trying to do. The AI will be coming in on the next lap, I believe. So now we need to push as much as we can on this next lap. Qualifying laps is what we need until the rest of the field come in for their final stop. Manaza has just came out of the pits on the previous lap, and he's already putting pressure on us. You can see with the way the I guess the AI are this year, there's different strategies at play, and Nazar opting to go for the undercut. It almost worked for him, as now he's going up the inside into the final corner, and we had to delay the turn in there, but Nazar gets the position there. He's effectively P10 at the moment. We try and use the slipstream to stay with him. He does have DRS though, so that's why we're really not making inroads on him at the moment, but we're going to try and go up the inside into turn 1. We've been jumped by a number of cars, including our teammate Daniel Ricciardo, who was supposed to have brake dramas in the first stint. So what's going on with Ricciardo? He must have solved his brake problems, because now he's in front of us. But either way, lap 20 is that Nico Hulkenberg coming out of the pits. We almost collected each other there. That was very dangerous. He turned into my path. I was turning in for the racing line. And look at how close we got. We almost got collected by a Sauber as well. That was very scary scenes there. But lap 20 now, we're sort of losing touch with points paying positions now. It's getting very tough for us now. What was a little bit of a hill climb has now turned into a bit of a mountain now, because Ricciardo, Hamilton, Nazar, those guys, they're all up the road quite a little bit. Now Verstappen, who still has his brake dramas, is now getting lapped on lap 20. That's very disappointing, and we do have equal cars for every single car, so for Verstappen to get lapped is must be such a massive issue that's holding him back in this race. But either way, lap 21, trying to go defensive into turn 1. The rear tyres now starting to protest, and already we've only done 3 or 4 laps on these tyres, and they're already starting to get junk and marbles all over them. It's getting quite difficult to manage, especially since we're racing so much. Speaking of racing, going up the inside of Massa, that was a counter-attacking move into turn 4, back up into P13. It's a minor victory for now, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really not going to matter, because Ricciardo, Hamilton, all those guys in front of us are now starting to stretch away. As for whatever reason, the tyre wear really starting to hamper me in this race. It's been an initial race really, but now it's really starting to tell, with the field starting to spread out. It's very interesting how the field is, it's equal cars, but there's such big disparities between the field and how much people race each other. But either way, Romain Grosjean has won this race. Us though, we're going to come home in P13. Very disappointing when you look at it from a results point of view, but overall I think that was a very good race. We battled with a lot of cars. We started in last. We made our way through the field quite well. On one of our worst tracks, we ended up P13, which wasn't, I don't think that's too bad, to be honest. With the equal cars, there's going to be a lot of people who don't get the results that they want, so the championship, it's going to be very close this year. There's no doubt about that. So we're going to have our off races. We're going to have some really good races in between as well. So this is just going to be part and parcel of this career mode. It's just going to be so unpredictable as to where we'll finish, especially since every car is of the pace of the Mercedes, except for us. We've got a Red Bull spec car. So it's going to be very interesting. P13, 53 seconds off the pace of Romain Grosjean, who won in the end in a 50% race. It probably would have been worse if it was a 100% race, because that further tests your consistency, tyre wear, all that kind of thing. Felipe Massa was the only DNFer of the race, and with Carlos Sainz Jr. finishing on the podium once again, he is still the championship leader, over 15 points clear of Romain Grosjean. Nico Rosberg third, and in fourth we have Daniel Ricciardo. Us though, we are P7 on 12 points. So not the end of the world. This championship is going to go down to the wire. There's no doubt about that. Everyone is going to be so evenly matched throughout this championship. There's going to be a lot left to come in the next few races. It's going to be very interesting. What I'm also very interested in too is whether there's a element of momentum, because I've had this sort of theory with the AI that there's a bit of momentum when good results start to string together and when bad results start to string together. You might see a pattern with some people finishing high up, with Carlos Sainz Jr. for example. But I'm going to stop rambling. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Until the next race, guys, I'll see you next time. Are you freaking serious? Good tyre wear. These are the worst tyres I've had on this game.